Are you ready to dive into the world of one of the most infamous drug lords in history? What if we told you that everything you thought you knew about Pablo Escobar was only the tip of the iceberg? In this video, we're going to reveal 10 little known facts about Escobar's life that will completely change the way you view his legacy. Get ready to uncover the secrets and untold stories of the man behind the myth. But be warned, what you're about to hear may shock you, so buckle up and prepare to have your mind blown. 1. Pablo Escobar's parents were a farmer and a school teacher. Step into the world of Pablo Escobar and discover the fascinating story of his upbringing. Raised in a rural area by hard-working parents, a farmer and a school teacher, Escobar learned the value of education and hard work from an early age. Growing up in poverty, he was no stranger to the harsh realities of life and quickly discovered the importance of self-reliance. Even as a child, he was an enterprising young man, always on the lookout for opportunities to make money. And although he would go on to become one of the most notorious drug lords in history, the lessons he learned from his parents about perseverance and self-sufficiency would stay with him for the rest of his life. 2. Escobar sold stolen tombstones and counterfeit lottery tickets as a child. As a child growing up in rural Colombia, Escobar was faced with struggles of poverty and the need to provide for himself and his family. And so, he turned to unconventional means of making money, such as selling stolen tombstones and counterfeit lottery tickets. Though these activities were illegal, they were a reflection of his resourcefulness and willing to take risks. These early experiences would serve as a foundation for his later criminal activities, which would ultimately catapult him to notoriety as one of the most infamous drug lords of all time. 3. He began smuggling marijuana as a teenager and later formed the Medellin cartel. The story of Pablo Escobar is one of ambition, power, and tragedy. As a teenager, he began dabbling in the drug trade, smuggling marijuana across the border from Colombia to neighboring countries. His entrepreneurial spirit and fearless approach to risk-taking quickly caught the attention of other like-minded individuals, and soon he formed the Medellin cartel, a criminal organization that would go on to dominate the global drug trade for years to come. With a ruthlessly efficient approach to business and a willingness to use violence to protect his interests, Escobar quickly rose to become one of the most powerful and feared figures in the world of organized crime. But as his power grew, so did his enemies, and ultimately, his violent and bloody downfall would become a cautionary tale of the perils of excess and greed. 4. Escobar earned up to $420 million a week from his drug trafficking operations. The vast wealth and power amassed by Pablo Escobar during his reign as the leader of the Medellin cartel is nothing short of staggering. At the height of his criminal empire, he was estimated to be earning up to $420 million a week from his drug trafficking operations. The sheer scale of his wealth allowed him to live a life of luxury with extravagant homes, private planes, and even his own zoo. But the cost of his lavish lifestyle was steep, and he would stop at nothing to protect his interests. His reign of terror left a trail of violence and bloodshed in its wake as he battled with rival gangs, the Colombian government, and even the United States. Despite his enormous wealth, his obsession with power ultimately led to his downfall, as he was haunted relentlessly by authorities until his eventual death in a hail of bullets. 5. He was involved in other criminal activity enterprises such as kidnapping, extortion, and money laundering. Pablo Escobar's criminal empire extended far beyond drug trafficking. He was involved in a wide range of illegal activities, including kidnapping, extortion, and money laundering. His vast wealth and power allowed him to operate with impunity, and he was able to build a complex web of criminal enterprises that spanned the globe. He was notorious for his ruthlessness and his willingness to use violence to protect his interests. If you are enjoying this video so far, please leave a like and subscribe to Oasisify. 6. Escobar built schools, hospitals, and housing for the poor in Colombia with his wealth. While Pablo Escobar's name is synonymous with drug trafficking and violence, there is another side of the story that is often overlooked. Despite his involvement in criminal activities, he had a genuine desire to help the people of Colombia and used his vast wealth to make a positive impact on his country. He built schools, hospitals, and housings for the poor, and he was often seen as a champion of the people. In many ways, he was a paradoxical figure, both a criminal mastermind and a philanthropist. But even as he tried to do good, the violence and destruction wrought by his criminal empire could not be ignored. 7. He had the nicknames such as the King of Cocaine, El Padrino, and Robin Hood. Pablo Escobar was one of the most infamous figures in the history of drug trafficking, and he had a number of nicknames that reflected his reputation. Perhaps the most well-known of these was the King of Cocaine, which he earned as a result of his enormous wealth and power in the drug trade. But he was also known as El Padrino, which translates to the Godfather, a nod to his influence over the criminal underworld. In addition, some saw him as a modern-day Robin Hood, using his wealth and power to help the poor and disadvantaged in Colombia. These nicknames serve to illustrate the complex nature of Escobar's legacy. 7. Escobar had a private zoo with elephants, giraffes, and hippopotamuses. Pablo Escobar was known for his extravagant lifestyle, for his love of luxury, and he had a private zoo that was a testament to his wealth and power. The zoo was filled with exotic animals, including elephants, giraffes, and hippos, which he imported from all over the world. It was a symbol of his opulence and excess, and it served as a reminder of his vast wealth and influence. But even as he indulged in his extravagant lifestyle, Escobar never forgot his roots or his desire to help the people of Colombia. The untold story of Pablo Escobar is a complex one, full of contradictions and surprises, and the private zoo is just one example of the many ways in which he defied expectations and left a lasting impact on the world around him. 9. He was elected to the Colombian Congress in 1982, but was forced to resign in 1984 after being accused of drug trafficking. Despite his criminal activities, Pablo Escobar was a charismatic figure who was able to win the hearts and minds of many Colombians, and he was elected to the country's Congress in 1982. However, his tenure was short-lived, as he was soon accused of drug trafficking and forced to resign in 1984. This was just one of many setbacks in Escobar's tumultuous life, and it marked the beginning of a long and bloody battle between him and the Colombian government. But even as he faced increasing pressure and danger, Escobar never lost his ambition or his drive, and he continued to fight for his place in the world until the very end. 10. Escobar was known for his ruthless reputation and was responsible for the deaths of thousands of people, including law enforcement officials, journalists, and innocent civilians. While Pablo Escobar is often romanticized in pop culture, it's important to remember the immense harm that he caused during his reign as one of the most notorious drug lords. Escobar was responsible for the deaths of thousands of people, including law enforcement officials, journalists, and innocent civilians, and he gained a reputation for his ruthless tactics and disregard for human life. Despite this, he remained a powerful figure until the very end, and his legacy continues to be felt throughout Colombia and the world. Thank you for watching Oasisify. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to our channel for more captivating content. Don't forget to hit the like button and the notification bell to stay updated on our latest uploads. We appreciate your support and feedback, so feel free to leave us a comment below. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.